It is cold, it is dreary, and unfortunately, it is the reality. Welcome to the ACOS Weather Report. My name is Michael Erickson Machine. This is the ACOS Weather Report presented by Ad Badger. Let's jump in. First, if you're new here, what is the ACOS Weather Report? The ACOS Weather Report analyzes about 1,200 marketplaces on the US so that you compare your Amazon advertising to those overall trends. We have other content that we produce later in the week, which talks about strategic techniques to get more out of your Amazon advertising. But for right now, let's actually jump in to the data and get right to it. So essentially what we're looking at here, and if I make this a little bit bigger, essentially, what we're looking at here are some trends. The first metric that we're going to look at, uh, my favorite metric, been talking about it for a long time, is RPC or revenue per click. What you can see here, and we're tracking this data since September 3rd, 2023, so about 2 months now, you can see that the average revenue per click for the average Amazon seller is actually declining. You can see that in September, we were sort of always above $3. And now it looks like we're struggling to get above $3. Now, this is due to a variety of reasons, I believe. Number one, you can see the massive revenue per clicks peak during Prime Day. So, what you see on the front and back of events like that is a softening of sort of consumer behavior of hunger from consumers to purchase things as they wait and save their purchases for that big flagpole day. And you can see that very clearly here. I think now we're sort of in the lull in between Prime Day and waiting for Black Friday. Um, so revenue per click over the last week was up, which was nice. You know, we had a nice crest over $3 going into October 30th, but since then we sort of dipped all the way back down to 281 on November 2nd. If we take a look at the average ACOS, you can see that we're sort of go riding around 30%. You can see in the last sort of time frame here, it is down. Um, and that's nice to see. The average ACOS for all the average ACOS, and this is just for sponsored products. What we're looking at here is the average ACOS doing a nice job, 27%, 28%. It does go up on the weekends, 29%. But for the most part, it's a really interesting phenomenon on Amazon, whereas revenue per click has sort of, and we can look at this conversion rate too. Conversion rate essentially mirrors um, the revenue per click. You know, more people convert, more revenue per click, and that's what we see here. We see conversion rate is sort of getting softening. So my insight here for all Amazon sellers: definitely freshen up on what to do when conversion rate falls. You definitely want to make the most of those peak timeframes. I'm talking about Black Friday, Cyber Monday. I'm talking about going into peak Q4, which is the month of December, because we definitely want to make up for any lost time here. Now, an interesting thing that you see here is when we look at conversion rates sort of going down, how is it possible that ACOS is also going down at the same time? And how, when revenue per click is going down, I want to bring in one more thing here. We have average cost per click for sponsored products. Let's run a chart on that really quick for you. Insert chart for sponsored products. You can see what CPC does here. This is really fascinating, watching CPC sort of migrate down as conversion rate gets softer. So it really does, you know, it's sort of a self-correcting system, right? As conversion rates get a little lower, as revenue per clicks get a little lower, you can see how it sort of balances itself out. We're getting cheaper clicks. So hopefully you saw something like this in your account over the last sort of since Prime Day, you know, where the average click for sponsored products is lower than I think I've seen it in maybe forever. The average CPC was always sort of riding around 95 cents. So seeing CPCs average for sponsored products below 90 for this long, I haven't seen it in a very, very long time, which is really fascinating. Let's throw in here the average CPC for sponsored brands, in case you're running a lot of sponsored brands here. So sponsored brands does have a lull right here. It doesn't, but it does look like it's been increasing in the last week. So let's just quickly sort of recap that for you. The average cost per click for sponsored products over the last since September 1st. Average is 92 cents. Sponsored brands also 92 cents. Sponsored display cost per click 85 cents. So that'll give you some good perspective there on the averages. So I hope you enjoyed this average this ACOS weather report. Essentially, looks like conversion rate is softening up. It looks like ACOS is holding steady. And the reason why it looks like it's holding steady, even though conversion rate is going down, is because hopefully you're experiencing cheaper sponsored products clicks. Have a good one. My name is Michael Erickson Fasheen. We podcast over here at adbadger.com, all about Amazon tips, tricks, and strategies to make your Amazon advertising life a little bit easier and a little bit more profitable. Have a good one. I'll see you next week here in the PPC Den.